Hello everyone, Robert Rambles here, and welcome back to World of Warcraft Vanilla Classic, the Bloodsail Buccaneers server, and our hardcore priest run. Thank you guys for clicking on the video and joining me here today. I really do appreciate that. Hope you're all doing well. We are going to start off today by heading to the south. I think I'm going to head over here and work on the altered snapjaw shells. Then maybe we'll go a little bit further south for Raptor horns and some stolen silver. We could go to the north for Harpy Lieutenant rings. But yeah, I think we'll do this. I think we'll head back over to the oases. We don't really have a lot to do here before we could go back into Silverpine. We could go back into Silverpine at any time. Most of our quests are about the same level. We just don't have as much going on in Silverpine as we do in the Barrens. That's the only problem. I could definitely see why when we look for people here in the Barrens, there are just always more people here because it's a bigger zone. Even within certain level brackets, there's just more to do. Sometimes Silverpine seems a little bit lacking in just the sheer number of quests. Lots of fellow priests on today, that's good to see. Still lots of warriors, shaman, one warlock. Doesn't seem like Warlock is a very popular hardcore class. And after our one foray into it, I can kind of see why. It seems like, you know, it'd be easy to survive. I think having a pet introduces a certain amount of liability. A certain amount of chaos that you as a player don't always get to control. You just kind of roll the dice anytime your pet has to path somewhere. You just kind of hope it works out for the best. I wanted to say that I really appreciate your guys' opinions in the comments on things like the use of Questy versus not using Questy, the positives and negatives of both. I really appreciate the dialogue there. And I really appreciate that people have been able to just express their opinions without any kind of backlash. You guys are pretty awesome about being generally level-headed about things when offering advice. And yeah, I feel like, you know, some people feel like Questy takes away a little bit of immersion, and I understand that. But also keep in mind that I've been playing the game for 20 years. I know a lot of the quests. Every once in a while, I will have to figure something out, or remember where it is, or read a little bit deeper into a description. But for the most part, I do know where the quests are. So it's not really like it's a blind playthrough, even if I'm playing without Questy. It wouldn't necessarily be the same as somebody less experienced playing without Questy, or doing the quest for the first time without Questy. It wouldn't be like that. I still basically know where I'm going. Especially early in the leveling, especially. But I do think that there's a place for that level of immersion. And I really do enjoy the thought of just, you know, going Questy free and just having the default in-game stuff. And, you know, our first couple of characters, we didn't use Questy at all. So, the Night Elf Warrior, Human Priest, back upon Vanilla launch. It took me until Season of Mastery for people to convince me to even use Questy at all. I think we were like level 50 on our warrior in Season of Mastery in Fellwood. Fellwood going into Winterspring when I finally relented, and after struggling just to find quests and to figure out where the best questing levels were at, I finally installed Questy. But that was like 2 years almost into Classic. So I've done plenty of absolutely add-on free runs. On the warrior and the priest, for the most of the time, we hid the floating names, similar to what we were doing on the hardcore shaman for a while, where you couldn't even see the enemy names. So I've done lots of different immersive stuff, and I always like the concept of making the game more immersive. Sometimes I find that things detract and then like the positive value you get from immersion isn't compensated. Things like not having the names up doesn't really seem worth it. Some of you guys pointed out that a lot of the time our wand hits her about the same amount that smite does. I'm not sure it's worth smiting at the moment. Maybe next time we get a more powerful rank of it. Right now it's probably best just to get into our wanding and just keep wanding. As opposed to taking 2.5 seconds to cast smite, which is only going to hit for 66 damage on the top end. And it's going to cost mana. Whereas the wand, you know, it's only hitting for like 30 to 50. But it doesn't cost mana, and the cooldown time on the auto attack is not 2.5 seconds, so... I think we'll just do that for now, and see how that works. Now, eventually this wand is not going to be so amazing. It's a level 13 wand, and it's incredibly overpowered, so while we're fighting level like 15 to 20 guys, it's going to be fine. We're eventually going to have to replace it though, and that's going to be hard. That is going to be the challenge. Okay, so that's done. Let's head a little bit further to the south. We're going to go after the stolen silver that the Raptors got their hands on, and we need Raptor horns while we're down there fighting those guys. Can we maybe cut through the hills as a way to avoid these centaur? It looks like it. I'm just gonna take these guys out. I don't know that it's worth letting them scamper about. I really don't want those guys too. It looks like we did manage to avoid them for the moment. They're just circling. They're circling in like the weirdest way. Look at that, we managed to avoid them still. Oh man, okay. Yeah, they're just gonna keep circling it looks like. Let's loot this guy, skin him, and see if we can get out of here before they come all the way back around. That was one of the oddest pathings I've ever seen an enemy do. But there's lots of that all across the world in vanilla. It's one of the really interesting things about vanilla, is that the things that enemies do out in the world, the paths that they take, it's a lot different than retail. I feel like in retail, enemies do not go far from their leash point at all. They basically stand right by their spawn point. Sometimes they amble a little bit back and forth. But you don't see a lot of stuff like that, where an enemy is taking this enormous path throughout a zone that can vary. And I like that kind of stuff a lot. It makes the world seem more alive. In Dragonflight, they opened up the zones felt bigger, but I don't know that they did anything to make the zones feel more alive. My biggest problem with Dragonflight ended up being Dragonflight. It's because Dragonflight is really cool. The Dragonflight system in retail is really fun, okay? However, it completely negates you spending a lot of time on the ground, actually getting immersed in the zones, in the content, with the NPCs. Seeing stuff happen at a ground level in the world is so important. It's so important to have your boots on the ground and see the things that are happening on the ground. That having the cornerstone, doing an expansion where you really focus on making the world awesome, and having that be the same expansion where you introduce Dragonflight, that's not the way to go. That's like two contradictory systems. You have this awesome world you created that you're really proud of, but then you're saying, hey, people, stay in the air most of the time. Okay, you're gonna want to stay in the air so high that you can't see anything. Let's do this and get rid of him. Sorry, it was always my plan to kill the one and drop the other. I guess I should have voiced that instead of ranting so that you guys weren't so scared. But yeah, we'll probably have to do that a few times where we kill one and then we have to leash the second one. He can't still be on us. Yeah, I was going to say there's no way. So yeah, that ended up being my problem with Dragonflight, is you could arbitrarily not fly, okay? I know somebody's saying that, well, just don't use your dragon if you don't like it, Robert. You have a ground mount for a reason. Why don't you just use your ground mount and stop complaining? They designed the levels to be flown through. It's literally part of the game design that you're going to use the dragon flying, so... And it's so weird. The zones were beautiful, but again, it didn't compel me to stay on the ground. I didn't feel like the world was alive because of how much time I spent in the air. It's like, I just don't think they're ever going to recapture it. I think that the game can be great for what it is in retail. It can be a great game. I just don't think it's for me. I don't think they're ever going to recapture any of that feeling of just being in a world, being an adventure in a world, having our feet on the ground, and just, you know, doing things the slow way. Taking our time, really exploring. Not just investigating dings on our map. I haven't thought about Dragonflight in a long time. I emotionally wrote it off a long time ago. I tried really hard to get into it. There are things that I loved about it. I really enjoyed the crafting system that they created. I thought that was really cool, like the talent trees and the crafting. But it's like when I like a game and the things that I like about the game are the systems, then it kind of turns me off. And that's kind of what I realized with Dragonflight, is like all the things that I really liked were systems. Like I enjoyed dragon flying. I really enjoyed professions. I liked the class that we were on, you know, the shaman rotation was really fun. I loved the talent tree revamp. But all those things that I really, really loved, they were all systems. I didn't think like, oh, I really loved my experience here, or I really loved how it took us what felt like forever to work through this zone, and then there was this big, you know, reward at the end of it that we felt got an impact on character development and world progression. I never felt any of that. I never felt a big sense of like actually exploring. Like I said, with the dragon flying, you can get from one end of the zone to the other immediately. When you can get from one end of the zone to another immediately, there is no sense of exploration. There is no sense of danger. There is no real sense of wonder, except for those first few seconds when you're flying through the zones and everything's going really fast and everything looks pretty. And they crafted zones in the way they looked that could have been very immersive, but pairing the dragon riding with this expansion, in my opinion, was just... I mean, it's all about the dragons, right? But... yeah, I feel like the zones and the content would have been better just having our feet on the ground. That's ultimately what I decided, that when you can traverse an entire expansion's worth of 3 zones in 2 minutes, there's no way that world feels big. There's no way that world feels interesting. It just doesn't. Alright, how do we want to deal with this? Let's be super smart and we'll... Oh, he resisted. Well, snap. That put our item on cooldown, actually. Let's try to keep one of these guys by pumping some damage into him. But let's retreat so that hopefully the other one leashes eventually. Let's get this back up. We gotta hit him again here if we want to keep him. Alright, so we've dropped the one. We don't have a lot of mana, so I'm just going to leash this guy. We could probably kill him, but I'm not going to take the risk. Alright, there we go. Oh, we hit level 19 at some point, which I think makes this the highest level character we've had in hardcore. There's our 5 out of 5 wand spec. We're going for improved power word shield next. And then 2 points in power word fortitude. Alright, this looks like a 3-pull, but I don't think it is. I think this guy will come out on his own. And I think the other 2 are going to be a 2-pull. Yeah, okay, good. Alright, let's do this. And it looks like we had a little help there from the shaman. I'm gonna run in here and grab the silver. I'm pretty sure it respawns nearly instantly. Whoops. I definitely meant to target him and give him a buff. Okay, now we just need a couple more horns. Let's not flee the area completely. Planestriders here are just kind of messing things up for us. Let's pull this Planestrider and hope that they don't, for some weird reason, have any kind of social aggro with the Raptors. Looks like we're good. I really don't want the Planestrider too. Let's move a bit more. Alright, well, for all that effort, we got... Well, I guess we don't know yet. So far, we got nothing. Let's see if he'll drop an item for us. He will. Okay, we need one more. I did not see this one pathing when I pulled this guy. I'm glad... Well, I was going to say I'm glad he didn't come this way, and then lo and behold, he's coming this way. Alright, we got what we need. Let's get out of here. We are going to be headed back to Ratchet first. We could try to get Varag's head. We can see if he's up, and if he's not up, we can kill a couple of Centaur. Let's go get Mancrick's wife as well. Let's go do that. And then we'll circle back and try to summon Varag. Sounds like a good plan. If we continue flying through the levels here on the Priest and things continue to be really easy for us, I'm probably going to start up an Alliance playthrough pretty soon. Maybe once we get into the level 20s. Because yeah, I feel really powerful on the Priest. I have a lot of familiarity with it. And as far as survivability, obviously, like, I feel like any healer class is going to have a lot of survivability. So, yeah, I feel like it's going to go for a while. I'm feeling really good about it. So, I do think I'm going to start up an Alliance run soon. I think we're going to go Night Elf Rogue. I want to do the whole caster melee thing, so... Yeah, I'm thinking Night Elf Rogue. We're going to do Herbalism and Alchemy for the potions. So I feel like similar to the Warrior, potions are going to be what keep us alive. I also think maybe we can learn how to make an energy potion. Or no, that's a tea, isn't it? It's a tea. And I actually am not sure how we make it. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about. A Night Elf Rogue with Herbalism and Alchemy. Oh, beaten corpse. Yikes. Alright, hi there. Oh, we're getting medium leather now. That's awesome. That's going to sell for a substantial amount more if we can keep building stacks of it. We can make a bunch of bolts of linen cloth, and we still have plenty of patterns that we need linen for that we can get skill ups from, so we should be good there to skill that up a little bit. And I'm just really looking forward to getting enough wool so we can make all of our 8-slot bags. We have the one 8-slot bag that we randomly found, which is really lucky, so we just need to craft 3 of them. And we'll be in good shape. Yeah, I didn't even really think about bags when I picked tailoring. I was thinking more for gear, but I feel like tailoring is good just for the bags almost. Because otherwise, you have to spend vendor money on bags, and it's not inexpensive. You can't go on the auction house and just buy, you know, a cheap 16-slot or something like that, so having tailoring is a huge boon for your inventory. I feel like especially in group runs, that's what interests me most about doing like a group hardcore run, is more just being able to stack the professions. I find that incredibly interesting because you can trade amongst the people in your hardcore group. Being able to stack professions, if you had 3 people, you could cover a lot of bases. But I think among that, definitely having someone who can make bags is really, really important. Alright, let's get in on these guys. Blood-splattered loincloth of the boar. Okay. So the other day, we summoned Varag about 15 times, and we didn't need him then. And then I prophesized that when we did need him, it would take forever for him to come out. So we'll see if it's, if I'm right. Or if maybe we get really lucky and he comes out very soon. Let's go kill some guys up in these tents. let's go ahead and drink a little bit. We haven't had to drink very often. So we spent a bunch of mana killing that pet, and the pet was not worth experience, so he didn't proc Spirit Tap. That is what happened to our mana. Mystic's Cape. Agility and Spirit. Well, we don't need the agility. But the Spirit I'll take. Oh, we're also full on inventory space. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's do that. Let's open these. And yeah, we do just need to turn some quest in and vendor pretty soon, that's all. Not really a lot else we can do. If we're lucky, this guy will spawn soon, and we can get out of here and head to Ratchet. If we're not lucky, we're going to be leaving a lot of items on the ground. Ah, I am slain, I summon Varag. Okay, perfect. Alright, let's come over here. Varag should be just over this way. So I was wrong, we got really lucky with that one, and it spawned really quickly. On the Shaman, I swear it took forever to get him to come out. It was pretty intense how long it took. And there we go. Alright, we're going to Ratchet first, and then we are going to fly over to the crossroads, and then we will run out and turn in Varag's head. Pretty sure there's at least one more guy who circles around the little pond outside of the Wailing Caverns. Pretty sure that's where the last guy's at. A lot of you guys want to see a dungeon run, and I will be doing Shadowfang Keep. Well, I will say, I'll be looking for groups for Shadowfang Keep. I guess I can't promise that it will happen, because I really can't control if there are healers or DPS in my little hardcore guild. Which, keep in mind, the hardcore guild I ended up in separated from all the other guilds, renamed themselves, cut links with all the other linked guilds, so now there's just fewer people to communicate with, which has positive side effects because the guild chat, for the people who want to interact with guild chat, the guild chat is like tame now, right?
Talk to me.
Negative side effect for people like me who don't really want to interact with guild chat but just want to find groups is the negative side effect is now it's going to be harder for me to find groups.
Hurry back.
Inventory's full. Yeah, we knew about that.
Keep it real. Hey, how you doing?
Well, I'll be better when I unload all this junk onto you. And that is about it. That's about all we can do. Let's get a repair.
Have a good one. Yo!
Deep moss, spider eggs, and smart drinks. That stuff we're not going to take right now. What is smart drinks? Okay, that's Wailing Caverns.
Glad I could help.
Oh yeah, we could do Wailing Caverns. I kind of forgot about Wailing Caverns, honestly. Is there any cloth in Wailing Caverns? I'm not sure. I remember there being a lot of leather in there. I wouldn't mind doing Wailing Caverns. I don't remember Wailing Caverns being incredibly dangerous.
Farewell.
So maybe we could do that. The great thing is we'll be mainly discipline spec, so when we go in as a healer, we won't be totally gimped. Especially not once we put some points into improved power word shield.
Hey, how you doing?
It's not going to make warrior tanks happy, but it is what it is. Ziz Physics is Stone Talon, Winnicky Bolt Bucket is to the northern part of the Barrens. Okay. Trouble the docks. Okay. If we do Wailing Caverns, I'll grab smart drinks. For now, I think we're gonna jump on a flight.
Time is money, friend.
Guns of Northwatch we will do when we're a little bit higher level.
Keep it real.
Stronghold. Strength. Blood and thunder. What brings you here? May the eternal sun shine upon thee.
Alright guys, this is it. It's happening. We are going to do our Thunder Bluff run. we have to do it, and we have a couple of quests that just breadcrumb us there, so it's time. It's time to do this. Let's grab this guy's quest. It's going to be... I think it gives us 45 minutes. It gives us way too much time to get to Thunder Bluff, but...
Speak quickly.
There we go. Okay. So yeah, we'll head south. If we see plain striders, we'll fight them. Savannah lions, same thing. We'll try to maybe complete some of these objectives as we go, but we're heading for Camp Taurajo as our first destination, so I'll try to keep my map closed. I've been trying to work harder at keeping the map closed. I know it bothers you guys when every 5 seconds it's like I gotta check where I'm going for some reason, even though I know where I'm going. So I've been trying to do less of that. And I do understand, I do know that Questy is what causes me to open my map more often. I know that. And so since I decided to use Questy, I'm going to try not tormenting you guys by opening the map a bazillion times when I don't need to. If it becomes a huge problem and I can't stop doing it, I will disable Questy if I determine that that's the problem. So there's that. Hold me to it, guys. Hold me to it. This guy we need for the quest, but he's gray, so... Yeah, we probably could have turned this in, and we probably could have completed that quest too, now that I think about it. Might have been smart to do things in that order, but it's okay. We don't have to min-max things. It's gonna be alright. Anything going on over here? It's always interesting when you find these little houses and there's just really nothing going on, but they're there anyway. How many times in retail do you think there's just a building out in the middle of nowhere with NPCs in it that doesn't have a quest, isn't a vendor, etc.? Yeah, these two are just hanging out. I wish I knew more. I wish I could talk to them. Oh, there's the map. Unnecessary map check, number 1. Corpse of injured. I think that's an oxymoron. Corpse of injured. We are going to find out, you know, how long it does take to travel there. It is going to take a bit of time. The good thing is we can finally learn stabs. Although someone said we can learn stabs in Orgrimmar, I looked at the weapon master in Orgrimmar when we were there a long time ago, and I didn't see staves. Either way, it'll be nice to have the flight point out there. Kind of essential. It's always like much further of a run than I think, just to get down to Camp Taurajo. At least they give us a flight point there. Thank God for that. It's definitely worth it to get these flight points. What is this? Corey's Main. Is that going to be like some kind of a patrolling elite? We do need a storm snout for a thunder lizard horn if we want to do Chen's empty keg. We might be able to find one somewhere on our journey similar to that one. See, like little campsites like this. Like what's going on over here? Oh, there is actually stuff going on here that we can't get close to. Don Karhan and Takar the Seer. Wow, like I didn't know these guys were here. I'm glad I didn't get much closer than that. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get one of these guys to drop the item we need, or if it's going to be kind of a difficult drop rate. Oh, we started off with a resist, so definitely a good start. They have a lot of health. Yeah. But he's level 21, so... guess what do we expect, right? And yeah, obviously the drop rate for that is, it's not going to be 100%. I don't think we're going to pick up any of the quests here yet. They should be a bit of a higher level. Yeah, 24, 21. There is a tailor here. And a skinner. That's cool. We are going to grab the flight point, and we're going to keep going. Definitely one of my favorite zones aesthetically. I think the next time we try a warrior, it'll be a Tauren warrior. Alright, we should be able to take basically a straight shot all the way across the zone to get to Thunder Bluff. I don't know that I've ever brought an undead into Mulgore. It's always interesting to see like the different lighting effects on the different character models from zones that they would not normally go through. there aren't many more beautiful sights in the game than seeing the bluffs of Thunder Bluff kind of rise out of the mist of the distance and solidify there on the horizon. Very cool looking. It's good to see these aggressive mobs are still quite aggressive. They don't care that we're 12 levels higher than them. Well, we did it, and we still have about 30 minutes left, so it takes about 15 minutes to run from Crossroads all the way down to Taurajo and then to Thunder Bluff. About 15 minutes. Now, we did a little bit of fighting along the way, so, you know, you could probably do it a little bit quicker than that, but it took a significant amount of time. The good news is we'll never have to run that far again, I don't think. Okay, let's see. We are going to the Spirit Rise for the timed quest, so let's do that first. And the Flight Master is going to be... it's going to be in the middle. But we'll be coming back to the Flight Master at the end to fly out, so I don't need to worry about that now. Pretty sure we're going down into the cave below if we're wanting to find the Forsaken guys. Priest trainers down there? Yep, priest trainers. I think she just has a breadcrumb to Silverpine. Filthy scum leaves me for his damn crusade because the light is more important. The light is the most important thing we have against the threats the undead pose. Well, what about his children? What about me? Night after night, I sat patiently waiting for him, always second to his blasted duty. Well, witness what justice brings you, Rambles. He's dead, and I'm bearing the very thing he was trying to stop. The plague? Is that what she means by bearing the thing? Take this piece of junk and put it on his tomb at the sepulchre. I want nothing to do with it anymore, or him.
Trust no one.
Clarice's pendant. Okay. We can do that for you. Let you move on.
Yes.
Ah, the spores from the Barrens that Hebron was gathering. He garnered your aid in delivering them? Good. And the emulsion is still potent, so you must have wasted no time in the delivery. Well done, priest. We get fortitude, agility, rejuve, or swiftness. I don't know. Not really any of these are too great for us. Take this one. We get a staff as well. Serpent Bloom, the Royal Apothecary Society based in the great undercity of Lordaeron, has sent me here for a very specific service. Perhaps you wish to aid me and in turn the Dark Lady in our efforts to advance the Forsaken. Recently I studied a rare specimen of flora named serpent bloom. Is this a Wailing Caverns?
Embrace
Okay,
the
I will
shadow.
grab this one so we don't have to come back here for it if we end up doing Wailing Caverns. I'll grab it. Okay. Let's try to go find the Weapon Master. You're the Arathi Basin Battle Master. Not what we're looking for.
Well met. May the eternal sun shine upon you.
Okay, yeah, we have to go back to Elder Rise, though, as well. Let's hit up the Weapon Master first. And we'll solve the mystery of the staves once and for all. Where do we learn them? Do we learn them here, or do we actually learn them back in Orgrimmar? Let's find out.
Greetings.
We learn them here, guys. There we go. We know how to use staves now. That feels a lot better.
Well met. We shall meet again.
Peace, friend.
Yes, it's true. I know of the druids in the Wailing Caverns. I've seen their twisted, scaled faces. I know their crimes, and I know their plans. You must stop them, Rambles. The druids in the Wailing Caverns, the druids of the Fang, are an aberration. They were part of an order of noble druids whose plan was to heal the Barrens, but now seek to remake that land to match their own twisted dreams. The druids of the Fang have 4 leaders, and each possesses a dream gem. Even now their faces haunt me. Defeat the leaders and bring me their gems, and the Barrens may again know peace. Oh. Well, yeah, I would love to have this staff. Okay.
Farewell.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to do Wailing Caverns. What's the worst that could happen? We die, I know. Maybe not, maybe at level 21. Maybe that would be a good time to do that. What else do we have over here? Testing the enemy's strength, searching for the lost satchel.
How may I aid you?
This is Ragefire Chasm.
Farewell.
And this is Ragefire. Okay, so we're not going to do Ragefire. We're a little bit higher level for it now anyway. So we learned staves. We got everything turned in. Where do we want to continue our questing? I think we still have so much stuff to do in the Barrens. We need to go to the northern part of the Barrens. We can do Akiaki. We can visit Winnicky and do Harpy Lieutenants. So yeah, I still think we have a few things I want to do in the Barrens before we head back over to Silverpine. But I'm going to take a break here for now, guys. I'm going to get some food, refill my coffee, and then I think we'll be right back at it. Kicking things off back at the crossroads next time. I'll put us on a flight point, and I will get us going back that way. Thank you guys so much for being here and for all of the support on this priest run. It's been a lot of fun. I do think the class is going to stay alive. I think we're going to have this priest with us for a long time. I don't want to jinx anything, but you know, if we take it slow and steady, then there's no reason why this character cannot go all the way, and I'm excited to see that happen. That being said, we might start up an Alliance playthrough soon. I'm really leaning towards Night Elf Rogue, but I would love to hear what you guys think on that account. Let me know, and until next time, take care of yourselves out there and take care of each other, and we'll see you back here again very soon. Bye for now.